Can AI actually do your job? It doesn't matter. You'll be replaced anyway. Because if your CEO gets it in their head that some AI tool can do your job half as well as you can, you're getting laid off. Period. Doesn't matter if the tech actually works. Doesn't matter if it's buggy, if it hallucinates half the time, if it falls apart the second you look at it funny. If the people upstairs think AI saves money, the pink slips go out first and the questions get asked later. Maybe. Right now, everybody online wants to talk about AGI, artificial general intelligence, robots taking over, some catastrophic AI that wipes out humanity. Meanwhile, back here in the real world, people are losing their jobs every day. Kids fresh out of college can't even land a first interview. Experienced folks are getting cut loose. And economists are up in their ivory towers arguing about whether it's overhiring or automation. Stop. That debate doesn't matter. Because while everyone's arguing, executives are already pulling the trigger based on hype. Hi, I'm Soribel Feliz. I'm an AI governance advisor. I've worked inside government and I've worked inside these tech companies. And I know a broken system when I see one. And this is not a technology crisis. This is a governance crisis. And until you can see the three failures driving this whole wave of layoffs, you're fighting a battle you don't even know you're in. Let's talk about a story everyone is reading wrong. Ford. People look at Ford and go, see? Look! They fired thousands of workers and then they had to hire a bunch back. It's a win for workers. Yay! Is it though? Ford laid off thousands of people and rehired 350, only engineers. And yeah, maybe at premium wages, sure. But only the most experienced technical engineers got that call back. Nobody's asking the real question. What happened to everyone else? The HR people, the business analysts, the project managers, the admin teams who lost their whole livelihood. What happened to them? And here's the bigger one. What happened to their institutional knowledge? Because when a company does a big round of cuts like this, they capture all of that expertise, years and years of it, coded right into their workflows. My suspicion, those 350 engineers did not get brought back to rebuild the old team. They got hired back to train the AI that's gonna replace them too, eventually. I mean, who's to say that in 6 months, Ford won't turn around and lay off those same 350 engineers once all of their knowledge is safely captured inside a model? That's not a comeback story for workers. That's a company buying time. And none of this is happening by accident. It's happening because of 3 governance failures, stacked right on top of each other. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. Let's go. Failure number 1, no transparency. Ford is never gonna tell you or me what those 350 engineers are actually doing in that building. Ford won't tell you whether their knowledge is getting pulled out of their heads and coded into a system, so the company never needs them or the next batch of engineers ever again. That happens behind closed doors. There's no public audit. It's a black box, and honestly, executives like it that way. Failure number 2, no accountability. Nobody has to prove anything before they pull the trigger. A CEO gets a hunch, just a feeling that AI can handle your job, and thousands of people lose their paychecks off of that hunch. Nobody makes them test a small pilot first. Nobody makes them prove it. And nobody answers for it afterwards, whether they were right or dead wrong. The workload doubles for everyone left. The stock goes up on the cost-cutting news. And that's it. Shoot first, and there's nobody standing there after asking why. Failure number 3, no measurement. We can't even agree on how big this thing actually is. Some economists say it's just pandemic overhiring correcting itself. Others talk about the macroeconomic conditions and uncertainty, but others are saying no, it's actually AI. The truth is, nobody's really tracking what happens to the people who get cut because of AI. There's a memo when it happens, and then silence forever. And notice, none of these 3 are about the technology itself. They're about the people running it and the fact that nobody's making them show their work. You know what worries me most? All of this damage is happening while AI is honestly still pretty dumb. Right now, these systems are screening resumes, they're writing code, they're automating a little data entry, and that's it. So what happens when they get way more powerful, more autonomous? Think about it this way. Right now, one CEO acts on a hunch and lays off half the company. That's bad enough. But picture that same hunch, the same 3 governance failures running inside AI that's making these calls across an entire industry all at once. Nobody's able to see in. Nobody's tracking it. Nobody's answering for it. It's not just one company making one mistake anymore. It's the same mistake happening everywhere at the same time, way faster than any person can catch it or stop it. And the failure itself never changes. Same black box, same lack of accountability, same lack of measurement. So if you're lying awake at night, scared about some far-off AGI apocalypse, hear me out on this. We can't even govern the dumb little AI sitting inside HR software today. That right there is the actual emergency. So stop arguing about whether AI is smart enough to do your job yet and start asking better questions. Let me give you 4 things you can actually go do today, right now. Number 1, look up your local elected officials. Not Washington in general, not politicians, your elected officials, your representative, your senators, your governor, your state legislators. Go look at their voting record. Have they sponsored any one thing protecting workers around AI? Have they even said anything? Do they have any staff working on this? When you look, you'll see that most of them have nothing. And that silence is dangerous because it means the only people in the room writing the rules are tech lobbyists and executives. Not you, not me. Number 2, watch what unions are doing, whether you're part of one or not. Because union negotiations are where the real legally binding AI protections are getting built right now. So contracts that make companies tell workers before they roll out an AI tool, or clauses that say that AI has to support and augment workers, not replace them. That's what real protection looks like, not a company press release. Number 3, break the silence. Talk about this out loud with your coworkers, your neighbors, your family members, your friends who got laid off. This job market is so isolating, and it turns a giant systemic failure into this very private, very personal shame. Don't let it. Say it plainly. Number 4, stop internalizing it. If you've sent out hundreds of resumes a week and heard nothing back, it is not you. It's not your resume. It's not that you didn't network hard enough or that you didn't update your LinkedIn. You are one person going up against an automated system running at a scale that nobody can beat alone. Say it till you believe it. It is not you. AI is one of the most consequential technological developments happening in our lifetime. It deserves more than an argument about whether the software is good enough yet to replace you. In the next video, we go deep on the first of the 3 failures I mentioned. The hiring algorithms that reject you before a human even lays eyes on your application. No explanation, no appeal, no transparency, just silence. If you've been applying and hitting a brick wall, that one is going to explain a lot of what's happening behind the curtain. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm Sorry Bell Fellies. Thank you for watching.